Blake, are you ready to confess?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, tell us about yourself, what you do.
So I'm Blake. I do photography and videography, mainly videography, about 80% wedding videography, and then 20% photography. I do like real estate photography. I have a gig every month I do. And then I do about probably 4 to 5 weddings for photography a year. Those are more organic. I don't really advertise as a wedding photographer. It's kind of a backup there. And then if someone obviously asks for it, then I'll do it. I'm equally good, I feel like, at both, but I just feel like there's less competition in video right now in the area
Yeah.
at my price point. But anything with the camera, and then sort of gig work, especially after I do weddings. Sometimes people will hit me up after the wedding and say, hey, I got, this, or I'm looking to make this kind of either photo or video, and then just little random things like that.
How'd you get into videography?
So completely random. 4 years ago, I knew nothing about photography or anything or video. I'd already messed with like video editing a little bit. I've always been kind of a nerd, like a PC gamer. So I, like YouTube videos, stuff like that. So I already knew Premiere a little bit. And a friend, I was at work and I was telling her how I was kind of just like unfulfilled. I bartended for most of my life and then like waited tables. And I was just saying, I was getting older and just, like just not
It's
feeling.
hard.
Yeah. Well, and as you get older, I'm 41 now. You start to, life starts to kind of sinking a little more. Like when you're young, you're like, whatever, I can, mess around and whatever. And she's like, hey, I'm getting married in like a month. You should buy a camera and do my wedding.
Oh, wow.
So she knew I was, I think I edited her friends, like some footage they had. And that night I went home and ordered a camera on Amazon. And then it got there like the next day. And then I'm on YouTube. I'm like, what is ISO? What is shutter?
Yeah.
I do nothing, like completely nothing. And I'm just like, oh my God, this is a lot. And just grinded it. So I started with video. And then I realized the camera I got is kind of a good hybrid, the A7 III. And so I realized it takes good photos too. And then I fell into Lightroom, and then I kind of fell in love with that too. Well, I've always just loved kind of any nerdy computer stuff. So it was a way to be creative in like a nerdy way. I'm not like an artist where I can't draw, I can't, sing or anything. And I just kind of like got addicted and just full on went into it. And then it was like, I did my boss's wedding after that. And then I think Facebook was where I started getting my first weddings, the Facebook groups. And super cheap. And then I was like, okay, so I'll tell you this, but don't tell my wife. So the first one I did that wasn't a friend, it was supposed to be $1,000, but I told her, I was like, hey, like, I feel like I'm getting more out of this than you, because I'm trying to learn. I can't, learn without getting weddings. And I told my wife I got $1,000, but I did it for free. Because I was so grateful. And also I think it's me, just, I was not feeling like confident or whatever. I was just so grateful that someone was going to hire me that I didn't know.
Yeah.
And then from there on out, I just, kind of Facebook. And then it started to be like vendors I met at weddings. Gabby Sharp was a big help.
Yeah. She's awesome.
Oh, she's great. So she really, like supported me. And so I'll always be thankful for her and all the other people, that I would meet just kind of organically. Most vendors are really cool, and you'll make those connections and then kind of help each other out. It's not always that way, but usually. And then you just kind of word of mouth, and then made the Google business page. And then somehow I got that to like the #1 spot. If you search in like, Boise wedding videographer, I'm #1.
Nice.
Like in the area. And I don't know, like on YouTube, I just kind of followed the instructions for that, with like keywords and also the business name has videography in the name. So that kind of helps.
Yeah.
So I get a lot of hits from that. So, and then the Facebook group. So it's just like everything combined. And now I'm almost fully booked for this next year. I can take 30 was the goal. I'm at 26. And I have some other contracts now. And then I'll be at 30, which was what I wanted to hit. And it's not even like January yet. And then after that, I could technically take probably like, as long as it's in certain months, and I'll be able to, decide on that when I get those inquiries, but maybe like 35, maybe.
Yeah. That's awesome.
On top of like the good work. Yeah.
What, I have a couple questions. So first off, what is the biggest thing that you're noticing as far as 2026 brides in the booking process? Like, do you feel like they're booking further in advance? Like, I don't know how long you've had these booked.
Yes, September. So September is already booked for me each Saturday, and then I have one I think on a Tuesday. So 5 for September. But September 19th, I'm not even joking. I've had like 20 inquiries for that day. This
Really?
last week I had 3 more, and it's been booked for a long time.
Yeah.
And I tried to Google. I don't know what's cool with that date.
Yeah.
Someone said like equinox, but I don't know if it's just random.
Yeah.
But September 19th. But
And then my second question, back a little bit, we were talking about Google and SEO. Do you have any tips for ranking high on Google SEO or just like YouTube?
I mean, I do. So like, I've been trying to ask other people I know, other vendors, and have them do what I did because I'm curious. It's just how my brain with anything like techie or nerdy.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know, you know, was it that? Is it partially luck? Is it this? The main thing when I made the LLC again, and you'll see this with certain businesses like Boise Boba, they have Boise in their name. So when people are
Yeah.
searching, Boise Boba or a boba near me, it's going to help them.
Or
So I made
Idaho
sure to
Pride.
put, photography. Yeah. So that's perfect. So I put that in the LLC. So photography and videography. It's after Blake and I feel like that's helped, but then it was keywords. So everywhere, and you want all the social medias because basically like when it's crawling, it wants to see you on different things. So TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, I have YouTube, and everything is Blake and everything is the same thing. Blake and Blake and When I'm doing hashtags, it's Blake or it's Boise wedding videographer. On YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram. And so you just want those same keywords all over your website, everything. And so I try to think of the main keywords that people search when they're looking for my work. And then I put those keywords everywhere.
That's smart.
And that's what YouTube said. I mean, I deep dove for about 2 weeks on what you're supposed to do, supposedly. But
yeah.
And then, I mean, for real, it was crazy. So I made the business page, and within, I think it was 6 months, I was up to number 1.
Wow.
And there's people that, even ones like Boise Wedding Films, and I went above them.
Yeah, that's what I've always wondered because I'm like, well, how am I ranking? And I'm like, well, is it just showing me the top because like I look it up frequently or like, yeah.
Try to ask people who have nothing to do with you or
Okay.
any ties to you because sometimes like if Ashley's around you, the phones are kind of talking and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I'll ask complete strangers sometimes and it's still there. I'm like, oh, where, cool.
That's nice.
Like even Mexico, I was down there and I was testing it.
Really?
If you type in Boise, it still was hitting down there.
So kind of going back on what we were talking about before with Idaho wedding industry and how Gabby was helping you, do you feel like overall the Idaho wedding industry is pretty collaborative?
I mean, I would say like most of it was the vendors really helped me. And I don't know, I would say I'm a pretty like personal person. I just try to be like real and authentic. And I'm always also like, I will help anybody if someone asks me for whatever, like your thing, about the technical stuff, or I love troubleshooting and helping others. So I don't know if that's helped people help me. Maybe I'm just more someone I don't know, but I would say yes, like hugely, but I've tried to think if I was only a photographer, because there's a million photographers, right? You see the Facebook groups and it's like 200 posts,
yes.
comments. And in video, it's like, especially local. And there's obviously like the price ranges and different, experience. And then a lot of the people that are even posting are like out of towners, or it's those companies where it's, and I don't like this business model, but they basically have somebody behind a desk wherever trying to find the inquiry or their website, and then they will have associate shooters. And I get these emails all the time. They'll be like, "Hey, we'll pay you, like $100 an hour. You just come film it and then send us the footage." And then they send that overseas to get edited.
Really?
Oh yeah, and you probably see those films where you can tell because whether it's the editing style and the music, but and then they send that finished product to the couple. I guess I'm not sure why somebody would hire someone like that. Maybe they just don't know how to look better, but
yeah, no, I didn't. Haven't really. I mean, like I've seen it in photography, but I haven't really seen it as much as I've heard about it in videography.
Yeah, it's in video too. And the thing is like, say something's messed up a little bit, then it's like, how do you get that fixed? With me, if they want something a little tweaked, it's an easy fix, right?
Yeah.
And there's also so much to mess up between all these people.
Yeah.
But the thing is, and someone told me this because I was asking about how that model works, why like people do it. It's like, honestly, like a couple is a one-time client. You're not trying to do like a repeat client because there's only one wedding. And then if they're kind of whatever, like this, well, and this is why I think it's stupid, is if they're not that happy, it's like, oh, well, I'm just, like there's so many people involved and it's like, well, they can give me a better view, but I'm still just like knocking out weddings.
Yeah.
You know, because the person's probably in Texas or even like in Florida with a website for Boise wedding films or something, and
Yeah.
then it's like whatever.
You know
I
what?
don't know.
I did see a TikTok recently, and it was talking about how this girl was hired to be an associate out of like Texas, or there was something about Texas. That's
Yeah.
what triggered my memory. And she did this wedding, and she was like, "Okay, I'll send you the footage once you pay me." Well, weeks go by and they like still haven't paid her. They basically ghosted her, and she's just like, "Well, the couple obviously hasn't got their footage because this person wasn't even at the wedding."
Yeah.
And so she reaches out to the couple. She's like, "I don't care if it breaks contract," or something like that. I'm probably getting it wrong.
Yeah.
And she's like, "I'm so glad," the couple said, "I'm so glad that you reached out. We haven't heard anything." And she's just like, "Neither have I." And so it was just like weird, like,
Yeah. I mean, it's also kind of scammy. I mean, so someone could get scammed in the process, but and there's no vetting. So I mean, I used to get these even when I was new and like not that experienced, and people be like, "Hey, like, can you associate shoot?" Like they're just going on Instagram and trying to find people in that area. So if they got a hit for Boise, they're like, "Okay, now I'm gonna have whoever is being paid behind the desk, you know, like probably like I don't know, $10 an hour, is gonna go on Instagram in Boise area, find and message like a bunch of us, and then they're gonna ask, you know, if they want to do it, and for like I don't know, $50 an hour, depending on the client, and then that's how they get it. And they don't even like ask or know their like gear, you know, how much
yeah,
experience they have. It's just like so messy, and I don't know, but people do it, and I don't know why they do it.
yeah.
They just don't know any better. But I think you should hire someone who is
You can
local.
meet.
You can meet, talk to, FaceTime. You know, like, hey, is this your full time thing? Even if not, like, how much, you know, like effort do you put into it?
Yeah,
All that stuff. But it's weird.
yeah. I guess now it begs the question, like, what entices couples to book with a company like that? Like, maybe
I just
there's,
think they don't know better. I
yeah.
can't imagine. I think maybe people are too busy because I've asked these same questions, and um, I have some brides that'll be like, "Hey, I'm just really new to this. You know, what's the process? And
Mm,
do you have any suggestions?" And I'm like, "Hey, I got a bunch of vendors I know.
yeah.
Um, I'm always like, watch out for these
Mm-hmm.
scams or companies." But yeah, it's probably just like they have no clue.
Yeah.
You know.
Hopefully this brings a little bit of awareness.
Yeah, and not to like, but I just feel like, and some local people or some people too, eventually, I think get big enough and like they just want something more to where they can kind of sit back and
Mm,
have some associates under them.
yeah.
That's still okay as long as like the team's here. There's
Yeah.
like the one leader. They're
Yeah.
all in communication here. It's not somebody, you know, like there's not 5 different people all over the
Mhm.
world working on
Yeah.
this wedding for Boise,
Yeah.
you know, that don't know each other.
That makes a lot of sense. And I think, kind of thinking about it, maybe it's like the consistency of the editing or the editing style that the
Yeah, yeah,
couple's ultimately looking for, and they don't really care how they get that. But with the, like what we were talking about, it's kind of hard to get that when you have different people shooting
hmm
because the raw footage is always
oh
going to
yeah,
be different because
yeah,
your eye is different.
yeah. I mean, the eye and whatever like color profile or your
Mhm.
camera.
Yeah.
If you're shooting like S-Log compared to not, there's so many different things that can make it look so different. It's
Mhm.
like, but you never know. So
Interesting.
yeah.
Um, I want to ask you my favorite question.
Okay.
Tell me about a vendor you'll never work with again and why, but don't name names.
Okay. Let me think real quick. How I can say. Um. Okay. I'll just say okay. I'm gonna kind of like dance around this.
Yeah.
So for a wedding, I feel like there's photo and video, right?
Mhm.
If you have both, I feel like the photographer, and this is me that has done both. I'm not just one or the other, so I feel like I understand this well. The photographer is kind of the quarterback. The videographer is the backup quarterback
Mm.
in terms of like directing, right?
Yeah.
Like the plays, I call it the plays,
Mhm.
whatever, you know, the day.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm right there by them, like anything they need. When you're doing like golden hour or certain things, we're kind of passing back and forth. So it's like, hey, you knock out 2 poses. And if they're really good, the way I shoot is like cinematic. So it's almost like a documentary style where like they're not looking at my camera, but if they're really
Mm.
posing good and doing fun movement stuff, then I can get these cool angles and like artistic shots
Yeah.
and really start cooking. If they're so this person, and I've had like there's a few, and if they're new, I understand, and I'll sort of take the lead, or the lead, and this has happened, because I kind of can see that I have to in
Mm.
terms of like posing or whatever, and that's fine. Um, but this one time it was like so bad. Um, where it really like affected my job. And not even that. And then
Were they
when they
new?
were, it's weird because they're like Instagram,
Uh-huh.
like their editing is amazing.
Yeah.
If you look at the Instagram, you're like, oh my god, like this person's like style, like everything is just beautiful color, everything.
Uh-huh.
But they have, yeah. Oh, and like the energy, it was just like very chaotic. This is something I'm a big believer into, and
Mhm.
this is where I'll kind of answer it without. When you're doing photo or video or whatever, and it's someone's wedding day, like you do want to be able to pose and take control when needed. But there's also certain times I feel like you want the couple to have those raw moments
Mhm.
and not be too controlling.
Mhm.
For example, this is what I'll say. So I'll say for cake cutting. Okay, so the couple's going, you're explaining how to do it. If
Mm,
they're asking, okay, that's fine. Now you want to let them do it, right? Especially because I'm there with video and I'm trying to capture them have the authentic moment.
right.
The person, so they start cutting. She's like, all right, pause there. All right, cut some more. Okay, go. All right, pause. All right, look at me. Okay, all right, cut a little bit more. Again, pause, hold on. Let me get this angle. I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, first of all, I'm here with video,
Yeah.
but you're almost stealing that moment from them.
Yeah.
Okay, now you're gonna put the cake on here. Okay. Now I want you to put some cake on their lips. And it was just so controlled
Uh,
that I was like, what is happening? And
I
this is
feel
already
like
after.
well, and everybody's watching in that moment, so I feel like for that kind of thing, like, if you want that much control over it, let them do the cake cutting, do everything, get
Hmm.
everybody their dessert, and then you can come back and do that kind of
Yeah, if
thing,
you want
and
like any creative, yeah, like
yeah.
it was just so
Yeah.
weird. And that was only a piece of a bunch of other stuff from the thing. And I was just so mixed. I was like, man, I remember Chief working or before working that day, and I was like, man, the Instagram's amazing. I'm so excited to like
Yeah.
to see, because I like to watch, people's flows and their
Mhm.
posing. You have some people who are like master posers and they've taken classes, and then some people's styles are different with like maybe a little more movement or whatever.
Mhm. I'm a
Um,
big movement person. Like,
yeah,
on a wedding day, if there's a videographer, I absolutely love it because, w like, they can, um, direct, move it more naturally, if that makes
yeah,
sense, and, like, I like being able to just bounce back and forth off of each other in the poses,
hmm,
and so I've never understood the, like, "I'm better than you," and maybe it's because, like, I'm not newer anymore, but, like, when I was doing it, I was newer, and so it was just like, we're both here for the same goal,
hmm.
and I didn't really have an ego, but I don't know.
I would say too, people um, that are newer sometimes, at least, might have more of an ego in terms of they're trying to maybe prove,
Mm,
or it depends who's like their partner, right? So maybe
yeah.
the photo person's a little newer and they know the video person's been doing it for like 5 years.
Mhm.
They might be trying to show off a little bit,
Mhm.
almost out of like insecurity.
Yeah.
Um, but I've had times where it was just an amazing like team, and it's almost like it's becoming more often now that my price point's a little higher, but where we're just like cooking together, and it was almost not even like work.
Mhm.
Um, Everything was perfect, and the flowing and the posing, and it's just like we had each other's backs, and it was just amazing.
Yeah.
And it was like, yo, awesome, good job. All right, see you later. But we just killed it,
Yeah. Well, and it's always the best feeling when you, like, see other vendors that you're gonna be working with and you know that you work
Hmm.
well, so you just know that
Yeah.
it's gonna be a good
Oh yeah. And that's what's cool now too. So us like trying to refer each other.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, this year I've had like four I love working with, but I was already booked for those days. So it's like,
Mhm.
dang it, I couldn't get that one. But um, it's cool because you show up and you're just like, all right, let's do it again. Boom.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
sweet. So
What advice do you have for couples, as far as booking, like, the dream team?
who would I go? I mean, probably ask the photographer first, or find them. I would look at their work and then FaceTime them,
Mm.
feel their vibe out, and then ask if they know any other vendors.
Yeah.
And then they're obviously gonna tell you who they, enjoy being with.
Mhm.
So I mean, even if I'm trying to think, I don't know. I feel like people would still choose someone who's gonna make that day, and also like they're gonna have good work 'cause they want the couple to, like feel happy that they hired them and they took their recommendation. So I
Mhm.
would just ask them, be like, "Hey, who are the best at this? You think?" And then
Yeah.
still after that, go check. There could be times where someone's trying to get their friend hired just because
Mm.
they're friends. So
Yeah.
maybe double check on the work, make sure the work's there,
Yeah.
and go from there. But
Yeah. I think that's
yeah.
pretty good. Do you have any crazy wedding stories?
A few, yeah. So I've had groomsmen puking. I think
Oh.
sadly he's probably an alcoholic.
Oh.
And it was for like the bridal portraits and the groomsmen photos. And we're sitting there, and I'll see like the timeline's coming, and we're like, okay, where's he at? And we're trying to find him, and he's just like throwing up. And he comes out finally, and he's just hammered. And it wasn't even like the reception yet.
Oh my god.
Was just I think it was before the ceremony too, still. And he was just lit, and it was like we're all just okay. Well, everyone understands what's happening here. Let's just try to get through it. But it was
Yeah.
like, and then he had to go away off into like a bush, and then like throw up kind of just off to the
Like
side
during photos?
during photos.
Jeez.
Yeah, and I was on video that day, and I mean, the photographer were like, "Oh my god, this poor guy, dude." And the
Yeah.
bride's just like, pissed
Yeah.
off. That's
Was it
one.
like somebody obviously it was a groomsman, but was it
Yeah,
like her family friend or was it his
it was his
family?
friend.
Oh,
Yeah, one
okay.
of his buddies. So
So she probably even just
it's one of the
expected it
buddies
going
usually.
into
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Mm.
What else? Okay, after this last year. It was after this huge wedding, and there was being okay. I'm trying to think of what to say. I can probably say it. Okay. So there was like Hennessy being passed around, um, like crazy. I think it was Hennessy XO, just like bottles and bottles. And people were like, okay, this is gonna be one of those weddings, people were getting lit. And then it was last dance, and it was about to start, the last private dance. And I'm sitting there with the camera ready, we're gonna have this like intimate moment. It's like, all right, everyone outside for sparklers. We're about to do the private last dance. And then all of a sudden you hear like screaming outside. And it's like, oh my God, like he fell, he fell. And we're like, what? And finally we have to like stop what we're doing and go out there. And this older guy was too drunk, and he had just like fallen and cracked his head on the concrete,
Oh
and
no.
wasn't like waking up. And obviously everyone's lit, and they're all circling around him, and everyone's trying to freak out.
Yeah.
And then, there's always that person that's like, I'm a nurse right now. And then they're like, everyone back up,
Mm.
back up. And it was just a screaming. It was just crazy. Finally, ambulance comes, and we're like, still waiting. Me, the photographer, like, do we like, we're doing this last dance, or like, what's the vibe
Yeah.
here? So we're supposed to do sparklers after the last dance. And then finally the ambulance took him away, and then they finished the last dance in sparklers. But it was funny because after he was gone, because it was so like dark and like kind of scary, it was like nothing had happened. I was like, okay, last dance. And it was just like, oh my God. And it's funny because my wife before that was like, it's probably gonna be a crazy wedding. Guess you need a couple. It's probably gonna be a big party. And
Oh
I went home and
yeah.
I was like, guess what happened?
I bet she loved that.
But it's usually alcohol related. So
Yeah.
yeah.
People I don't know. The more and more I do this, the more I'm like, if there wasn't an ambulance or the cops, like, did you even have fun?
Hmm. Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
Uh, um, what's a boundary you now enforce because of one specific couple or instance
Yeah.
or vendor?
I've been pretty lucky so far. The one thing I do, I wouldn't know if it's a boundary, but I put, and I say it in the email before, and then it's on the contract,
Mm,
but it used to be kind of in the contract, in the writing, sorry, but now I have it on the bottom of it in the big bold,
mm.
delivery time,
Oh, okay.
1 to 3 months. And I put depending on busy season or not, but I still
Mm,
have that 3 month like max threshold. Sometimes people, it's not even that long after, and especially for like a wedding film, if it's good quality, it's going to take some time, and
yeah.
they'll kind of be like, hey, what's going on? And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
and it used to be, almost like, I don't say annoying, but it's just like, when you have a bunch of brides at once, especially if it's after October. So you just want to, uh, really put that down there. And I also tell them too, hey, if something comes up though, and this is important, for example, say someone has a grandparent, right? And they're getting
Mm,
pretty old, and it's after the wedding, the grandparent made it. And maybe it's like, it's getting close to like, she might pass anytime, and
mm,
you really want that quick, just communicate it to me, and I can maybe try to push you ahead, or I'll do my best like before the certain day or whatever.
yeah.
So it's just about communication, instead of just being like, hey, just be like, hey, this is the reason. I was just wondering if you could
Mm,
do something.
yeah.
Um, and and I also tell that too, obviously in the emails where I do FaceTime, just communicate with me if you got any special requests or
Yeah.
need or whatever. Just either text or call me, and we'll totally handle it. But um,
What do you think is the biggest reason for the lack of communication on like the bride or groom side?
I think some people, I have some friends like this, and it annoys me, where it's like, they'll text you and then you reply instantly, and then they don't text you back for like hours or like days, and you're like, or you text them and they just don't. Again, it's like for days, and it's just like, dude, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like, I know we're all addicted to our phones, so it's like, I know you're seeing this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's like people have an anxiety thing of like responding. I've tried to ask people the same question, like, hey, why don't you freaking, like, you're annoying, and they're like, oh, I'm just busy. I'm like, dude, we're all busy. Like,
Yeah.
you're on there on TikTok scrolling, I guarantee it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I think people get anxious about responding or talking to people.
I guess that does make sense because I will either respond right away or days later. And I think it's because when I think about it, I think it's a bigger task than it is.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I am on my phone, like I have to think about going to my messages. I have to think about making a response. I have to think about what I'm going to say. And then it's just like, you have to think about all these things. But like if you're just on TikTok, you're just not thinking.
You're not thinking,
And it just is a lot easier that way to just like check out.
yeah.
And
And I
then,
have a brain that I have to, like, if I get a text or email, I mean, unless I'm driving or I'm at work or something,
mm-hmm.
like where I can't, I have to instantly like respond to it, or my brain will explode.
I am getting to be like that. I'm trying to be more on like respond right away, but then also still have boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
So, but again, if I don't respond right away, then it'll be like a day later.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking about it that whole day, so I should have just responded
Yeah.
anyways.
And those are good, the boundaries. So like at night, me and my wife talked about this as I kind of became full time and the transition from my other job to this. Now that I am full time, it's like, okay, the morning kids are on the bus, and then so around like 9, and then I'm like clocked on or whatever,
Mm,
I'm editing or emails and stuff, and then after 5, kids get home, it's time for dinner. Fun, like the phone's kind of the side. I still, once family time's kind of over or whatever, I'll go check it. If there's something and I have time, I'll like get that email or text back, but I won't be a psycho on it like I would between 9 to 5. But I still, in weekends, like honestly, I'm not supposed to, but I still get back pretty freaking fast. Like if I'm just sitting there on my phone anyway.
mm-hmm.
But there are times I try to put it away, when we're doing game night or watching a movie or whatever. I'm just like, okay,
Yeah,
let's try to ignore it for a couple hours. But
it's hard.
it is hard.
Because I've also noticed a lot of people talking about it online that this generation of brides is very like, and it's not so much for me, but like I see the point, but this generation of brides is like very like, if you're not responding to them, they're already on to the next.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like vendors have that pressure to just be like responding right away, and then it kind of bleeds into me where like
Mm-hmm.
I respond this fast to somebody, like why aren't you responding that fast to me?
Yeah, I mean, I do respond to inquiries pretty dang quick. That's my most important thing, I think. If I get an email, like I said, unless I'm driving, or I'm almost like instantly back to it. And if I'm not to where I can give my full information packet thing, then I'll just be like, hey, I'm out of the house right now, but in the morning, first thing, I'll give that to you.
Yeah.
And as long as I get that initial response, I don't even know if there's like a way to automate that stuff. But I get worried with automation too much. And maybe it's because I'm older that I want them to feel a little authentic and not like a robot. But I don't know.
Automation is fun, but it's also hard. I feel like I like can figure out how to get it set up, but then sometimes like emails will go out and I'm like, what even triggered that? Like
Hmm.
it happened recently and I'm just like,
Yeah, I've never played with this. So I don't know.
how like, and everybody got the email all at the same time. I'm like, how did you all get this email? I wasn't even on my computer. Like,
Hmm.
and it was like, it was like a generic one. It was just like, hey, do you have any questions on what I sent you? And everybody on my email list got it. And I'm just like,
They're like, what?
yeah. I'm like, I didn't set that up and I don't know. And so everybody's like, yeah, like good. I'm like, sorry about that. I'm just an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's interesting for sure. What did you have to unlearn in order to become profitable?
I would say no. Okay. Or I guess like unlearn, I guess. I don't know. I wouldn't call it insecurity, but I basically, I'm not going to dive deep, but I have had like super low lows, like a weird, crazy life. So I used to be like an alcoholic and addict. I realized I've always had an addict brain, which can be good though, if it's like aimed at like this, right?
Yeah.
So about 10 years ago, I've been sober 10 years. But I like had to go to rehab. I mean, so I was like down there, right? To where like self-esteem is just like all, And that came from like an all-time high. Like I was a bartender downtown. I thought I was like the coolest guy ever, blah, blah, blah. But then when I grew up and I was a kid, I was always the shortest kid. I was always picked on, like, um, so it's like this wave of, you know what I mean? So it was like, okay, all of a sudden I'm a bartender. I'm super popular, which was bad for me because I wasn't in like school. But then it's like, okay, now I became an alcoholic because I couldn't handle, the party life. And then I'm back down. Now I'm in rehab. And then out of that, and I kind of like, I sobered up, but I still, I was getting older and I was just like a server now, like at a restaurant. I was like, yeah, I'm sober. Like I'm good, but still I didn't feel like I said, fulfilled. That's why I had that conversation with my friend. Um, but when I started doing this, I had kind of that low self-esteem of like, what do they call it? Imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Why am I good enough to like do this, or am I good enough, or all that stuff? And I really had to, I mean, it took time, and just like, I think now I'm in that phase where I actually believe, and especially now I'm almost fully booked for next year, that I'm like, dang, you know, um, okay, I'm doing this, it's not if I can, it's like I'm doing it.
Mhm.
But I just had to really get rid of all that garbage
Yeah.
and believe in myself. And it's like, if I can do it, and then anyone can, I'm telling you. And the thing about this job is cool is I've seen other vendors, everyone has their own style, and there's people who are naturally amazing artists when it comes to, say, photography. And I've met them, and I'm like, dang, your stuff is so good. Yeah, this one photo might have taken forever to like get, but like
Mhm.
in terms of like your creative eye, it's there. Like, hey, you should get into like doing portraits or like families or weddings.
Mhm.
But they like just can't do marketing or business, right? And so they'll never like pass that threshold. Then there's people who are so freaking good at marketing the business, but then they're like mediocre. I would say, like, this isn't dogging, just like,
Mhm.
photography, or they're like kind of, but they're killing it, but then you got the people who combine all of that, and they're just slaying it, and
Yeah.
they're gods. So, there's different ways to do it. You want to like be in that middle where you can combine all of it. So like, if I can do it and somehow like go order a camera, go on YouTube, learn how to do it. I didn't go to school for this stuff. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And then turn it into like, when I'm almost fully booked next year, like anybody can. But you have to, like I said, I'm obsessed with it. I'm all in. I love doing it. I'm sure that helps. I don't like sit down and hate doing it.
Yeah.
I love sitting down with my 3 screens. Like that's where I love, is my computer area and editing.
What computers do you edit on?
So I have a PC I built, and then just my 3 screens. So Windows. I'm not a Mac person, but
I they've got me
yeah.
so like in it.
Or
Apple?
Apple, yeah.
Like, yeah.
I mean, it's good. So the monitors, actually, the screens on Apple, the iPhones and the Macs, so their screens are color calibrated. Any people doing this work, if you don't have a color calibrated monitor, you need it, because when you're editing on that monitor, and then you go to export it, the colors aren't going to match.
Mhm.
Macs are usually always already like set up, so that's why a lot of editors edit on Macs and stuff.
That's
But if
smart.
you're on PC, you just got to get an Asus color calibrated monitor.
Okay.
Or it's called the Asus ProArt, and those are color calibrated. And make sure you have that if you're on PC, or if you're on Windows PC.
Mm.
So
I have noticed that because I like when I first started, I would notice there was quite a bit of difference because I didn't have a Mac at the time,
yeah,
but I had an iPad. And so like when I would edit on Lightroom on my iPad, and then just because I like calling on my iPad, I don't know,
hmm
I feel like it's easier. Um and plus like I can have it right here and look at all the
yeah,
details.
yeah.
Um but yeah, I did notice that. But
I'm not sure about iPads. I'd have to like check, but yeah, you want to make sure your screens are color calibrated.
yeah.
I do that by Googling if anyone has like a screen that they're editing on. Um, and so you do photo too, or well,
I've kind of phased out of it in doing this in the
okay,
magazine, but
but you start okay.
yeah.
When you edited, did you use a mouse or just use your finger with
I mean,
like the mouse pad for the mouse? I mean,
I have a trackpad for like because I have a desktop
hmm
Mac
okay.
and a keyboard, and then I have a trackpad instead of a mouse.
So what is a trackpad? Is that?
It's the little square box on the computer. Like, so,
I mean, I always tell people, I'll ask people, how long it takes them to edit or whatever, and especially on video, because there's been like 3 people. I know a lot of people who've actually, they were doing video and they stopped. And I'm
mm,
like, why? And I'm like, it just takes too long to edit. Um, Again, this comes from me, I think, always being like a gamer nerd.
mm,
So I've always been like, whatever game I'm playing, I call it like, I'm trying to, what do I call it? like hotkey efficiency. So the
Mm.
hotkeys for the games, or little shortcuts, I'm trying to make it as efficient as possible around this one hand to where I can just
Mm.
fly. And so I like that translated into editing. So when I'm editing, right, I have like the
Yeah.
3 screens, the mouse, and then I'm literally just like, I mean, if you watch me, the thing is though, I don't know really what I'm like which finger, or if someone
Mhm.
asks like what hotkey for this, I'm like, I don't really know. I
I
just
just
learned and I'm
yeah.
just flying,
Yeah.
but I'm so freaking fast. And I've watched and I've asked the people and they're like, yeah, I'm just kind of like clicking. And I'm like, you're
Mhm.
not using like hotkeys?
Yeah.
And it would take me, no joke, probably, especially if I had one screen for a film, like 3 times as long at least. So a lot of people, I think, if they can train themselves to be more efficient in terms of like the editing
Mm.
process, they realize like, oh, I can take on more weddings,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, and there's a lot of like even in the keyboard itself, there's keys, especially with Lightroom, that
Hmm.
just make it so much faster.
Oh yeah, that's it. So I'm in Lightroom, same thing. I'm just like, there's hotkeys and stuff. So,
Mhm.
like photographers, you gotta, I mean, I'll watch some time and they're just over here just
Mhm.
like drag. And I'm just like, oh my God, my brain's gonna like dude, learn the hotkeys,
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
for your own good, please. It'll make it so much faster.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, I agree with that actually. And I don't feel like anybody talks about it because there are so many like shortcuts or like hotkeys, like you said, that
yeah.
it makes it so much faster.
Well, it's like I think there's not as many nerdy girl or like gamer
Mm,
girls.
yeah.
And then I've noticed most video people are nerds or gamer nerds.
Mm, that makes
And then
sense.
that's also, I think there's not as many of us because I think maybe they're so awkward that they don't get into the wedding business.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Um, I'm like, I call it a secret nerd to where I don't really talk about it. I don't really like any of my friends they're not into like the nerdy stuff I'm into.
Mm.
It's just kind of like a secret life I live. Like for real, it's crazy.
Like Hannah
Um,
Montana.
like for real. And then most people I hang out with are just complete normies and into, normie stuff. And then what I truly love talking about or, doing is like really nerdy, but
What's the nerdiest thing?
okay. Should I say it? I guess it's fine. I mean, like Magic the Gathering,
Oh,
like,
okay.
you know what that is?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I've never gone as deep as D&D. I know some people that usually do Magic are in D&D.
Mhm.
That's right on the edge for me of too nerdy. I could definitely, if we were like up in a cabin and had nothing to do, I could get into it.
Yeah.
But like that's like just like
That's
where I
too
don't go.
nerdy.
But
Yeah.
Magic's pretty like nerdy. I mean,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is too, is funny is like the people who love that nerdy stuff also are almost like too awkward for me sometimes. I've
Yeah.
never found someone who's a secret nerd like me to where they are into like normal stuff and like pop music, whatever, but then but they really enjoy Magic
Mm.
together. But they can go back and still talk about like normal.
Yeah.
They're usually like, okay, Magic. So here's my. And I'm just like, oh, this person's like real dirty. Or
Hopefully
maybe
this
I'm weird. I
helps
don't know.
you find your other secret nerds.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Uh,
Oh, heck yeah.
okay, so you said you're on TikTok.
Yeah.
What is one thing that wedding TikTokers get so wrong about videography?
Okay. So this is something even in the filming process. I mean, this is an artistic choice also, so people might not like me saying it. But the people who I have learned from on YouTube and who I try to kind of be like, right, and imitate. So it's that cinematic highlight film, right?
Mm.
Um, and so you can shoot in 24 FPS. I'm not sure how much you know about video, but then there's like 30 FPS. It's kind of like reality TV shows. You'll see they shoot in that a lot. Like newscasts, and then sports are at like 60 FPS. And it's shot at that, but it's also rendered at that, right? It gives just that more like real time look. But the movies shoot at 24 FPS. So that's why movies have that cinematic look.
Mm.
It's not just the way like you light it, that's also part of it. But what it is it's the FPS, which is
Frames per second.
yeah. And the shutter speed you're gonna double, so you're at or 1/48 shutter. So it gives that enough motion blur to give that cinematic look. But then
Mm.
when you shoot at 30 FPS, you have to have your shutter at 160. So there's less motion blur, which
Mm.
makes it appear kind of more sharp, but it's not as like that like movie or like I'm watching like a movie actually. And a lot of people shoot at 30 or 60 only and then render in that, especially 30. And I feel like it just loses that kind of emotional. Again,
Mm.
this could be me, artistic choice, but the people like where they're actually doing films and I follow and they're always at 20 FPS and it just has that look of like, man, that was a movie. Like my wedding day was a movie. It wasn't a reality TV show.
Yeah.
You know, it was a movie, and most people don't shoot at that for some reason. I don't know why.
Maybe just the lack of knowledge. Because even getting into this, I didn't really know. I mean, I could YouTube it, but I also don't always have the patience to just sit and watch like a long YouTube video. But I was like, what do I shoot in and what does it mean? And I talked to ChatGPT about it, and it was like, yeah, I recommend these settings, and I was just like, all right, that's what I go with. But I don't know, like if it's exactly the look that I'm.
Or for this,
Mm-hmm.
do you know what you're shooting at? Like what FPS? Do you remember?
No, probably over 30.
Yeah, it's probably. I feel like ChatGPT would have told you 30 for like podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And
Because
then
it's not really something that you need motion blur for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it would still give that a little slightly more cinematic look. I'd have to I'm not sure. I'd probably guarantee most podcasters are shooting at 30 FPS. Like I said, it's anything with like news television or stuff like that. So
Yeah.
but that should be fine.
Yeah. And then like we talked about it, I want to figure out the different angles, but I have just ran into so many issues. Like, the one issue was what we had talked about, which was the audio. And then, I I think the main issue with that was, I wanted it to be able to recognize different mics, so I got 2 different mics other than this. Like, this is on the same transmitter. But so then I returned that mic and I just kept these. And then, I tried to do, multiple camera angles because I got the GoPro and my MacBook was too outdated that it wouldn't update to the new, iOS, which was like Tahoe or something like that. And I found out it hadn't been updating for like several of them. So then I ran into that, and then so then I just got this new MacBook, and then I have to download software for in order to use the GoPro's webcam, and I'm just like, and I still can't figure out how to get my actual camera onto the software, and it's just.
I mean, it can be a lot. Just even like my good PC, even when I went to the FX30, it's like a cinema line camera, so it shoots in like 10-bit color. It's good for like color grading and stuff, like really professional. And then when I started using that, I wouldn't get the thumbnails on my screen, right? So I can't see like what this shot is, right? So it was just blank, and I'm like, what the heck's going on? But then I looked into it, and it's like 10-bit doesn't give thumbnails, and I had to download a program to get the thumbnails, and it's just a lot of random things. It can be annoying. It's not like super easy.
No, it's not, and it's like video editing in and of itself is like a whole nother learning curve coming from photo.
Yeah, it really
and
is.
then just all the different like pieces that go into like something like this. I'm like I knew it was hard, but dang.
Yeah, and it's weird because it's one of those things where it's like after now, like I have everything set up. I mean, I can really knock out, especially like a little teaser or something, or if someone needed something really, like sliced up, whatever. It's super easy. But man, I really do think, I think it would be harder if you didn't know anything about Lightroom or Premiere. I think Lightroom would be easier to jump into.
Yeah.
Premiere, I'd be like, what am I looking at?
Yeah.
It'd be the same as if I switched to like a DaVinci Resolve or something. I'd probably sit there and maybe some would look alike and I'd kind of understand, but I think all the knobs and everything's maybe named something different. I'd be like, oh, I gotta do this all over again.
Yeah.
And I just don't want to.
Well, and I started out, I looked into Premiere and DaVinci, and they were like way too complicated for like my mind when I was very first starting. So then I started out with, I think it was like Podcast or something like that. It was very basic.
Yeah.
Like very basic, no color grading, not like just very basic. And I picked up on that pretty quick. And so then I was like, well, I want a little bit more. And so now I use something called Riverside, and even that jump was like quite the headache. And it's been really good and like really helpful. But now I kind of want to get into more like cinematic, like just of you and just of me, not just like a full shot. Like I would like a full shot in the background, but then like more like close up.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, you'd want to really control the light, and then obviously pick your angles, and then obviously you're not going to get like the bokeh with these. The bokeh is that like the depth or the blurriness behind. That's going to be like a actual camera.
Yeah.
Again.
Well, and that's what I have my camera, but then it only records in 30-minute increments.
Again, okay, so my A7 IIIs, which were the first ones I started with, that do both, for video, they only do 30-minute increments. Oh, this is a story. Okay, so I learned this almost the hard way. I got lucky, but I didn't know that because it just had never happened. I never recorded anything over 30 minutes before.
Yeah.
And so I just never thought to like ask or
Mhm.
like look into it. And I was doing like a ceremony and I had that camera on my gimbal. And then I think I see this is a long time ago, but it was before I had my 3 cameras for like ceremony and stuff for video. And I'm recording, right? And then it was right after the kiss, and then they're like walking back down the aisle, and then they're gone. And I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, cool. And I look at my camera in the back, and it wasn't recording.
Mm.
And I'm like, dude, I know I hit record. And I'm
Mhm.
also my heart's about ready to
Mhm.
explode. And I'm like, what in the hell? And it had stopped recording at 30 minutes. But the funny thing is, I had caught up to where they kissed, walked, and
Oh
then right when
god.
they turned, it turned off. I got so freaking lucky.
Yeah.
And so after that,
The
I,
ceremony was 30 minutes?
yeah, it was a long, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Well, and also like the Catholic ones can be like an
Oh.
hour, hour and a
Oh,
half,
yeah.
and I hadn't had those yet. But so after that night, I went and ordered the FX30, which has an unlimited recording time until the battery dies.
Mm.
And it's also like a 10-bit, just amazing upgrade for video. And then in this last year, I went psycho. I mean, I was getting a lot of weddings, and I bought 2 more of those.
Oh, gee.
They're not cheap, so now I have 3 FX30s, and then I have 2 A7 IIIs.
Oh, okay.
So I can use the A7 IIIs for photography. The FX30 are only for video.
Mm.
Um, but now I have unlimited recording on all 3, so I have 2 tripods and then the gimbal, and I don't have to worry about that
Yeah.
because it freaking sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That, like, I don't know, with photo, I was very, like, backup on backup on backup, but, like, with this, and maybe it's because, like, I understand the pressure of a wedding day, but with this, I'm just like, yeah, like, 1 camera's good, and then, or actually, no, I was doing 2 cameras, and then I hadn't had any issues, so I got a little bit cocky, and I was like, oh, like, 1's good, and then that was the episode that only recorded the first 3 minutes, and then we had to do the whole thing
Oh
over
my
again.
gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like if it was me, I'd probably I would control the lighting, like I said, more. And that's also gonna have to. It's gonna be if you can't control it a lot, you have to pick a certain time that's good with the lighting.
Mhm.
Like this, so you're having like a white balance coming from the windows, and then you'd want to match these with it, because right now you have a mixed lighting
Mm.
of the Kelvin or whatever.
Yeah.
That might mess with the overall color of the final footage. But this is like, it's like if you don't need that advanced stuff, like it's just a podcast, it's fine. But once you get it, then I would have like maybe an angle shoot here, one
Mm.
here, and you're getting the light to where it gives that ceramic lighting. So you want the angle coming from here on the faces. So you have like a light coming over there, like that one is, and then this one somewhere over here. And then that's what I would do.
Okay.
But yeah, this is
I
all like nerdy, like
No, I
video stuff.
appreciate it. And, normally I have the chairs out, but then I wanted to, like, mess around with the table, so I put the table here, but I was also told that you should do backlighting.
Yep.
Um,
So again, you'd have to like obviously you can't right now, but
yeah.
that's something you'd want to, and it'll like highlight you a little bit, basically.
Mm,
It's called like rim lighting, so that's what we do with the sun too. So you want the sun kind of behind the people a little bit at some point, and also it's going to have the harsh lighting off them, but it's also going to rim light their hair and stuff for like golden hour photos. Just makes you pop out of the background.
crazy. Lighting
Yeah.
is a whole nother
Yeah.
animal.
And I'm not an expert at all on lighting. I'm still like completely learning, and I know basics. If I ever like feel like I just go on YouTube,
Mm,
and then they'll tell you exactly. But there's like the key light, and there's the rim light, and then there's all the other stuff.
yeah.
Then you got like the softbox thing. That's good. And then yeah.
Yeah, this one's brand new. I was like, "Why want another light?" Because I don't feel like the window light is consistent enough
Mm-hmm.
because we're getting into winter and there's cloudy
Yeah,
and
yeah.
whatever else, so I wanted, like, just a secondary, and so I went with that over this one, but
And you'd have to. I'm not sure if there's a way to change the Kelvin on these. Do you know, or do they just turn on?
yeah, this one came with a remote, but it didn't come with batteries, so there's only, like, 3 that you can do, and then this one, I just haven't played with it enough.
Okay, yeah. You want to try to match the Kelvin of like with the window because the window's open, or you just shut the blinds and just use these. And that's where again it depends, and it depends on the light, like how much of that window light's coming in, but it'll kind of mess with like the overall color.
Hmm.
Um, Same as like if you shoot like the train depot, there's always
Mm.
this weird brown kind of like cast over people. It's because of all the browns on the floor, the lights bouncing off that, and like
That makes sense.
yeah. And you have the lights, like these lights that are in the train depot, and then you have all the windows that have the natural light. So it's all these different like Kelvins hitting each other, and it's just like makes this weird color cast.
Yeah.
It's so like annoying. So you're supposed to technically control all of it and make it the same Kelvin, and then you get that perfect color.
Mm.
This is again like, do I need that advanced stuff for like a podcast? you know what I mean? Unless you're like Joe
For my
Rogan.
consistent
Yeah.
viewers.
I mean, that's the thing, you know, it's like how much effort do I want to put in for what, you know, like this is fine,
Yeah.
I would say.
And I do want to put effort into it. It's just one thing at a time.
Yeah, exactly. Don't go too crazy and just, yeah.
All right. Kind of getting back into just the wedding side of things. What's one boundary every vendor needs?
I would say like time, like, whether it's at 5 o'clock, you're clocked off.
Mm,
You can still work after that if you choose to, but I would say, that couple should not expect you to respond or whatever after, you know, 5 p.m.
mm,
Unless there's been communication ahead of time. But just like, you know, even me, I'm supposed to on weekends give that to my family. So it's like Monday through Friday. Sometimes obviously during the wedding season, then I'm, you know, shooting a wedding on Saturday.
mm-hmm.
Um, but then Sunday I don't edit. I don't go on the computer to edit or anything like that. Um, if you don't have a family yet or younger, I mean, freaking YOLO. If you like, if I didn't have a family right now and I was obsessed with this, I'd probably like be working on a little bit on weekends because I still love it.
Mm,
But if you do have a family and a wife or a significant other, I would try to make sure that your couples know and just you know, and you communicate with your wife or husband or whatever that um, these are my hours I'm clocked on.
mm.
Because it's a weird job, right? It's like where some people, you got to treat it as a job and not be like, oh, I have like a fake job. But it's like,
Yeah.
it's going to become stressful if you don't find a way to make it. Okay, I'm clocked in at 9,
Mm,
clocked out at 5. It'll make it a lot like less stressful. Because when I started, I did do that and it was just a lot.
mm-hmm. It feels
So,
like you're always on then.
yep.
Yeah.
And so now I feel like I'm not, and it's been a lot less stressful. On top of pulling back from my other job.
Mm.
So now
What
I
did you
kind of,
do before?
so just serve tables.
Oh, yes. That's what we were talking about. Yeah.
Yep. So for the last like 8 years. And so that's why, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's why I'm super grateful to you because I think because I came from, you know, I don't know, some people who maybe haven't worked a shitty job. You know, I've done construction and like
Yeah.
bartending and other stuff, but I'm just like, oh, this is so nice.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Serving is hard because that was what I did before I was a medical assistant, and I did that for a long time. And like I just felt like I was getting so old with like my feet would hurt at the end of a
Oh, yeah.
shift, and
And there's no, you know, like, it's like a career. If you have a career or like a corporate
mm-hmm.
job, at least, you know, there's like more upside. You can keep going.
Yeah,
There's not anything.
no,
You know,
serving is
it's just a dead
serving.
end job, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
So,
and like if you're lucky, you can like even management. Like I don't feel like servers ever get promoted to manager
mhm.
ever.
And sometimes it can suck. You don't want to be around her.
No.
Um, it's just not there. But it can be great money and like, but think of it as like more of a gig work and then to where
Mm,
like it can help you your income then, but then eventually go on to something else.
yeah.
You don't want to be 40, sir. Yeah. And that was me, you know, like 30, 38, 39. And I'm still serving. I still serve a double on Wednesdays because it's a family restaurant.
Mm,
Um, and I love it. Honestly, it's good. I like the clients, you know, I feel very blessed that I found this. Um, and I'm able to do it because I am getting older, but, I'm probably going to keep that Wednesday just for like I don't know. I can't say forever,
mm-hmm.
but damn, it makes me like, I mean, yesterday I did it, you know, and then now I'm like, oh, nice. It makes me kind of enjoy it a little bit more and be a little more grateful, right?
Mm,
Not that I wasn't for having this, but I'm like, oh, this is sweet.
yeah,
Like working from home, basically, you know?
yeah.
Nice.
Why Wednesday? Like, I feel like that's such an odd day.
So that was the one. So my schedule before when I was just starting this stuff out, I did Tuesday nights, Wednesday double, Thursday night, Friday night, and I
Mm,
think Saturday night. And I started getting some weddings. But obviously, like
mm,
Saturday's a wedding day.
yeah.
So my first day I pulled back was Saturday. Okay, I'm giving
Mm,
that shift away. And then it was other ones. So I was doing that and then the weddings. And then I edit like in the mornings. And then again, as I got more busy, okay, now Friday is also another big wedding day. Pulled
yeah.
back Fridays. Now I just did Tuesday night, Thursday night, Wednesday double, which has
Mm,
always been like my set schedule. And then again, getting busier.
yeah.
Okay, now I did 30 this year. Like, first of all, I don't need it, but it's like I got a lot of like editing to do, pull back again. And then I just recently, like a month ago, maybe a month and a half, pulled back my Thursday. And now I'm just Wednesdays.
Mm, that's nice.
And it's still like, you know, it helps like pay the mortgage and
Mm,
then some extra money. Like I
yeah.
said, and it gets me out of the house. And
Yeah. I think that's the biggest thing with doing this. I absolutely love it, but getting out of the house is really hard if you don't like have somewhere to go, if that makes sense. Like you don't
Mm-hmm.
want to just go out and spend money.
Yeah.
But you also don't want to just be home all day.
Yeah. I mean, my wife, she works from home now too. She just got her like full-time job at a corporate place. Um, she's living the sweet life now. She'll like, it'll be 8 o'clock,
Mm-hmm.
roll over, laptop on,
Yeah.
clock in.
Yeah.
And now I'm kind of working at home unless I'm out shooting a wedding. But there'll be like, especially after Mexico, we just got back from a honeymoon, and it's like there were 3 days we were just like chilling in our sweatpants,
Yeah.
and we're like, did we leave the house in the last like 2 days? And so we did try to like,
Well, and I feel like when you've been inside for so long, you like start to like, if for me at least, I get like dizzy.
yeah,
Does that make
or
sense?
just like you're saying, you go
Like,
out and you're like, oh my god, like,
yeah, like
uh,
sometimes I'm like, I have to be outside. I don't care what I'm doing. I just have
yeah,
to be.
like just go for a walk. We try to go for like a sunset walk sometimes, or
Hmm.
walk the dog. But yeah, and Amazon Prime has become our freaking like. At first,
Yeah,
it was just like big things or camera stuff, but now it's like she just ordered freaking like toilet paper on there, and I was like, really?
it's so convenient. It's
I was like, what is it? She's
dangerous.
like, toilet paper, and I was like, you ordered toilet paper on Amazon Prime? I was like,
Yeah,
oh my god. But she's like, yeah, like why do we have it? I'm like, oh my god, I guess you're right.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna go to the store just to get toilet paper
yeah,
when
it's
I could
so
be at my
convenient.
house before I even have the chance to get
I
up
mean, it's
and
almost like
leave.
every day something's being dropped off, and it could be the smallest thing. I was like,
Hmm.
dude, they must hate us. But
They're getting plenty of money
yeah,
because not only are people paying for Prime, but businesses pay like a stupid percentage to have their product on there.
is that how? Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
because I looked into it. What was I wanting to? Oh, I was wanting to sell like just landscapes,
Mm-hmm.
and I you have to pay like a monthly fee, and you have to pay a certain percentage of profit. And
Damn.
I was like, I wasn't gonna make any money by doing that.
Yeah. Dang.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Mhm. What's one hill you'll die on about weddings?
Um, like something that has to happen or something, or like a.
Just something that you like fully believe in weddings. Like,
I mean,
like, go ahead.
so I tell couples now when I do like the FaceTime too, and I'll give them like any advice. And this is also like the more I do it, I learn maybe like from this wedding. I'm like, okay, this is something I still from this one that's good.
Mm,
Um, especially when you have a videographer, like photo and video, but more so for video. But you too, it's your day. Some people, man, they're just worrying too much about others, or like they got to say hi to everybody, especially if it's a big wedding. Or um, but the best videos I've done, and also like the most beautiful, like just wedding days,
mhm,
when those two, it's just about them, and they're sharing every moment together, even when they're speechless, like they're holding hands, they're sharing little
mm,
gazes. I've had times or weddings where after ceremony, and like they're split off, either worrying about their groomsmen or their, family trying to say hi or whatever. And I'm like, no, I can't get any footage of you guys together.
yeah, that's hard.
And then the ones where it's like they do not leave, each other's side, like rarely. It's just the most beautiful. You get the most like awesome moments. So I tell people, hey, it's your day. Don't let anyone or don't feel guilty that you didn't give anyone enough attention.
Yeah,
And I just got married. I told Lisa, I was like, it's about us. That's our day. It's our one day. Um, and have somebody in charge. I tell people in case like drama does go down, which is
mhm,
happen. Obviously, it's families and stuff.
yeah,
Have someone in charge to handle that, so it's not you two.
mm,
So if something does happen, you don't want whispers. It's like, hey, not my problem.
yeah,
So and so can handle it. We're just enjoying the moment.
yeah.
Do not
Because
worry about drama. Do not worry about it. Yeah,
it's inevitable. It's a wedding. You're having multiple different people, multiple different families, like all combining for one thing.
yeah,
There's gonna be, I wouldn't say hurt feelings, but like it's a new dynamic. Like if those
yeah.
families typically haven't been around each other,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's almost like posturing and like,
It is. There's like tradition and this and that. It's
mm-hmm.
like, oh my god. It's like just enjoy each other's company.
Yeah, like we're here
Um,
for the couple.
enjoy the moments. Don't be too worried about the future or this, like, or the
Mm-hmm.
timeline. If you have, your good vendors, it's not just the coordinator. If you have one doing that, it's, it'd be like me and Ashley are communicating. She's communicating with me and the photographer and the DJ, and we're all making sure we're all on top of everything. And that's when it's like a beautiful, and then the couple just enjoys it and they're not
Mm-hmm.
worried about it.
Yeah.
Well,
What's a wedding trend you wish would disappear?
um, and I mean, can I say, I don't know if it's a trend, but the Cupid like shuffle. Again, this is probably from just doing it now.
Yeah.
It's like every wedding, it's like, oh my god, Cupid
Mhm.
Shuffle, and what there's like one other song. It's like I don't remember. It's one of those songs though.
Yeah.
And it's just
Yeah.
like,
I know what you're talking about, and I'm also blinking, but yeah.
you know what I mean? Just find ways to make yours um a little different, I guess. But again, this is me. This is because I'm doing it, so it's like it's the
Mm.
same old thing. But I love when someone throws in something they created on their own, like their own, I guess, trend or their own I don't know, just thing that they made that's special just for their day that they came up with. They didn't copy it or they, you know, it's not,
Mm.
what else? That one. And then one that kind of, I mean, it's fun. It depends on the vibe, I guess. But the garter toss could be a little cringy
Mm.
where they're
Yeah.
going like under the dress, you know?
Mhm.
If the couple's right for it, it fits. Sometimes it's not. It's like
Yeah.
this pure couple,
Yeah.
you know, and like, or it's like a super like Christian wedding or something. And then they're like doing that. I'm like, whoa. And then you got Uncle Bob. He's like, yeah, get it, you
Yeah.
know, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh my God. It's like, okay,
Mhm.
you'll get lucky tonight. I'm just like, what?
Like, we
This
all
happened.
know it, you don't have to say
Yeah,
it.
it's like, okay, damn, you know,
Oh. Okay. This one's a lightning round. It's
okay,
just this or that, no explanations.
okay, this or that, got it.
Um, well, I look for it because I just was looking at it and now I lost it. Okay, ceremony or reception?
Not a ceremony.
First look or no first look?
First look.
Indoor or outdoor?
Ooh. Is this for ceremony or for just the whole, or just the whole?
No explanation.
Okay, sorry.
What's your gut?
My gut, outdoor.
Buffet or plated?
Buffet.
Band or DJ?
Ooh, that's hard. I'd say DJ.
Champagne tower or sparkler exit?
Ooh, champagne hour.
Biggest wedding day ick in one word or one sentence?
Wedding day ick. Um. Okay. And I can explain it.
Mhm.
Okay. So, okay, what can I say? Okay, it was an LDS wedding.
Mm,
So there's no drinking. Everything's pretty like
mm,
beautiful, pure, and just temple exit to the
mhm.
reception area. And then the couple was giving, and they're a very young couple, and the couple was giving like their thank you speech, kind of like, "Hey, thanks for everyone coming out." It was
Yeah.
just, very wholesome. And then again, I don't know who it was, but it was like probably a friend or Uncle Bob or whatever that person is. And he's like, "Yeah, get it tonight, yeah."
Oh my
Yeah, because they're
god.
LDS, so it's really like, and
Yeah.
I was just like, "Oh my god!" But it
Yeah.
was that, and I was just like, "What?"
Yeah. Like,
It was just funny.
it's people
Like it was
just
funny, but I was like, for that wedding, I was like, "Did that
mm,
just happen?"
yeah, time and place.
Yeah.
What's something that couples should splurge on first?
First thing, I would say like the venue, like,
Mm,
and there's ways, like me and Alyssa did a weekday because you save like half the money.
yeah.
So if you're worried about money, like we did Stone Crossing,
Mm,
beautiful.
yeah.
It was honestly pretty freaking cheap, and you
Really?
get all the dinner and stuff and everything. But we did it on a Monday,
Mm,
so that makes all the photos look good, the video, everything. All the guests were like, "Wow, this was like." They probably thought we spent a lot of money, but we really didn't.
yeah.
But we just knew how to like cut corners and stuff because of me.
Yeah.
But the venue, I would say like almost like the ceremony, because there like the ceremony and the reception area is just beautiful. I don't know if you've been there.
Hmm.
Um, it just made
I love
everyone was like,
the inside, and it looks like on the bottom part of it, it used to be like an old fountain, like in
yeah,
the groom's
yeah.
quarters or whatever.
And so for like as we had the bridge ceremony, so our little thing was in front of the bridge in the
Mm,
water pond,
yeah,
and then the reception was up on the other side, with those like string lights and then on the grass and stuff.
that's so pretty.
So it's just like gorgeous.
Yeah.
But we had so many compliments, and obviously it helps the photos. I would say if you have like an amazing photographer and videographer that you dropped all the money on, but then your venue's like mid
Mm,
or like lower than mid,
mm-hmm.
your footage, sorry, is gonna like
Yeah.
it's not gonna look like a movie,
Right.
because you're like at some I don't know
Barn.
reception hall or whatever.
Yeah.
So I would say yeah, venue.
Yeah. I like them. What's something that they should cut without hesitation?
Oh, just gotta be careful. This is okay. I don't want to like dog on it. Okay, let me think. And this is if you have to cut something, if you're
Mm-hmm.
on a budget.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez, I don't want people to be mad at me.
We can skip.
Okay, actually, okay. I don't drink. This is something I could say. An open bar.
Mm,
If
yeah.
people can't afford a couple of their own drinks,
Right.
whatever. But you gotta drop your, I don't know how much it even costs, but I would assume it costs like 1,000 or two at least for an open bar for your people.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Alyssa, again, it's easier because I don't drink, so I was like, why am I, and also a lot of our people were older, and there's only like 50 people. We just did a cash bar.
Mm.
And then they got the free, like, iced tea and Coke and all that stuff, but if they wanted alcohol, they'd have to pay for it.
Yeah. I feel like
If,
that's
if,
really reasonable.
yeah, for like, we're paying for your dinner. If you can't afford
Mm-hmm.
a couple, like maybe 20 or 40 bucks for, well, first of all, like, then don't drink alcohol. If you need to, then pull your freaking card and buy a couple drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah, cash bar.
Yeah. I think that's really good advice because I feel like in wedding planning, especially, like you want to do all the things and you want to pull out all the stops and like you don't want your guests to lack anything. But if you did have to cut something, like they can pay for their own drinks.
Yeah. Some people do, like you said, they do really worry about, they're trying to impress.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, it's because I'm 41 now, or just like, I don't care. Like, if you love me, you love me. Like,
Mm-hmm.
do you love me because I got you an open bar?
Yeah. And like I'm paying for your dinner already,
I'm
so
paying for your dinner. Like,
you can pay for a drink.
I'm not really like a show off type of person.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm more shy and like reserved, but I'm not like, oh, I gotta like,
Mm.
whatever.
Yeah. I think that's good.
Yeah.
What's one sentence of real advice every couple needs to hear?
It'd be from earlier. It'd be,
Yeah.
be in the moment. It's your day. Do not worry about other people. Once you have everything locked down, the day should, go smoothly. If it doesn't have someone in charge of that, but just like you two stay by each other. There's certain times you can leave, but just you two enjoy every single moment of that from after it's the first look. If you do it, to ceremony through to the reception, because it will go fast, but just
Mm-hmm.
spend time with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Just like do not leave each other's side. Really enjoy every little moment.
Yeah.
And don't stress about others that, whatever. Let the people you put in charge of that handle the stress.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you so much for being on the podcast.
yeah, thank you for having me.
Do you have anything you want to like shameless plug? Anything upcoming exciting that you're talking about?
No, not really. I'm just almost fully booked for next year, and then I'm gonna be. I have some experimenting stuff I want to like play with.
Yeah.
I want to mess with like cinematic photography,
Mm.
which I feel like the idea would be to shoot everything at 1/48 again, because that would cause that motion blur.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be reaching out as soon as I'm caught up on my backlog on getting some couples or maybe like some vendors and just doing like obviously free stuff with them as long as they're my clients or
Yeah.
people to shoot. So look out for that. But if anyone needs like techie help or info, I always reach out with questions or whatever or suggestions. No one will ever bug me. You can Instagram me and I'll just help you out if I know.
That's awesome. Where can they find you?
So everything's Blake of an Eye. So just Blake of an Eye on Instagram, on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. Yeah, all of this.
Awesome. Well,
Cool.
thank you so much.
Yeah, sweet. Cool.